I've created 3 insanely profitable Faceless channels that make me over $1 million a year. I just invested in another Faceless channel recently, and to get to where I'm at, I've had to research hundreds of Faceless channels. I've spent over $500,000 testing what works and what doesn't, and you want to know what my biggest takeaway from all this was? It's that chasing the most profitable niche just because it's profitable is the best way to kill your long-term success on YouTube. But before we get into that, let me show you something. This is a Faceless YouTube channel in the travel niche. It has around 200,000 subscribers and gets around 50,000 views per video on average. Now compare that channel to this channel in the finance and investing niche. It has only around 140,000 subscribers, and it also gets around 50,000 views per video on average. But by my calculations, this second channel makes more than double the amount of money per video than the first one. And it's all because it's in one of the most profitable channel niches on YouTube right now, finance. This right here is the reason why there are so many videos on YouTube that list out the best niches to create your own channel in. Because if you're not in the right niche, you're going to be losing out on free money basically. And to be honest, if the only thing you're looking for is to make a quick buck on YouTube and then call it a day, then this would be a very valid point to take into consideration. But if you're planning on creating long-term income from YouTube, the kind of income that will allow you to quit your job, pay off your debt, so that you can actually live the life you've always wanted to live long-term while being happy and fulfilled, if that's your goal, then you choosing a niche just because it's the most profitable is not going to be the best move. I know this because all 3 of my channels do not have the highest CPMs. And don't get me wrong, my channels have pretty good CPMs, but they're not the highest. And yet I still make more than most channel owners ever will anyways. We're talking well over 7 figures a year, and that is why we're making this video, to warn you that chasing the highest CPM is not the only thing you need to look at. You gotta take in one more super important factor that I'm gonna reveal in this video. But before we get into that, it is important for you to understand how much YouTube pays for each niche. See, when it comes to YouTube, some niches definitely make more money than others. There is no question about that. And it's all determined by your CPM. Your CPM is how much YouTube is paying you per 1,000 views. And your CPM entirely depends on what niche you're in, because it's all based on how much advertisers are willing to pay to show ads onto your videos. So if your channel is aimed at kids or broke people who aren't in a position to be buying anything from an advertiser, advertisers aren't going to be paying much money to show ads on those kind of videos, which means you're not going to be making much money. But if your channel is, for example, aimed at older people with money to burn, then your CPM is going to be a lot higher, which means you're going to be making a lot more money from the same amount of views. Which is why the niches with the highest paying CPMs are always going to be finance, investment, trading, crypto, and tech. These niches have the most profitable viewers for advertisers. And because advertisers make so much money off of these viewers, they're willing to pay a lot of money to show ads in this niche. There's higher demand from advertisers, so you make more money. Now compare that to other niches with much lower CPMs like beauty, entertainment, travel, and lifestyle. These CPMs are still good, but they're nowhere near compared to like finance and investing. And when you see all of this, you can see why people assume opening a finance channel is the only right choice when it comes to YouTube. But here is the deal: if you're just chasing the high CPM niche on YouTube, and that's the only thing you're considering when it comes to starting a YouTube channel, you are setting yourself up for failure. Why? Because if you have zero interest in crypto, for example, but you start a crypto faces YouTube channel just because it has a super high CPM, you might make it through publishing 1 or 2 videos that others make for you. You might even get to posting 10 videos or 50 videos, but inevitably you will get bored, which means even though you're making a much higher CPM, eventually you're probably gonna quit. Because trust me, if you actually don't care about something, you can only fake being interested in it for so long. Even if you outsource your entire channel just like I do with my channels, that little bit of upkeep and management that you have to do, it's gonna feel like work. So even though you're in a high CPM niche, you are not gonna make as much money compared to someone who's in your niche who's actually interested in it. How do I know? Because like I said, none of my 3 channels fall under the list of the most profitable niches on YouTube. I don't make videos about investing or personal finance or trading or whatever, because I'm just not interested in those things. Just take my channel How to Get Away With It for example. I haven't posted on that channel in around a year, even though our first 2 uploads on that channel did so well. Why? Because I started this channel purely as an experiment. I saw how popular true crime was, I saw a giant gap in the marketplace for a true crime channel. You can watch this other video where I break down how I find $1 million channel ideas, and I wanted to see if I could recreate the success of the Jake Tran channel and the Evil Food Supply channel in a niche that I had zero experience or interest in. And as expected, the system worked. I made a killer channel, I blew it out of the park on the first 2 uploads, and now this is a channel that if I continued, I can 100% get it to 100 million subscribers and make over $1 million a year. But because I'm not super interested in true crime, I decided it was best just to shelve the channel for now and put these writers and editors to work on my other channels or on some other new channel that I'm more interested in. If I have a choice to spend those 48 hours on a channel that has a good CPM and that I love versus a channel with the highest CPM possible that I'm not really interested in, I will always choose the channel with a good CPM that I actually love. Because in the end, it won't feel like work, I'll really enjoy my life and be happier, and I'll inevitably end up making more wealth. So that is the real secret to choosing a truly profitable niche on YouTube. You have to pick a niche that both interests you and has a solid CPM, because that is how you end up making the most money. Because like you saw with my true crime channel, if all you do is chase the high CPM, you lose motivation fast. You're gonna give up in a few months. And on top of that, by following this method of choosing a niche with a solid CPM and that you're interested in, everything is gonna be a lot easier and more effortless, compared to like if you were to try to teach yourself crypto from scratch just to make a crypto channel. So how do you find this niche that both has a solid CPM and that you're actually interested in? Well, you simply want to ask yourself, what do I like to talk or think about? What do I naturally talk to my friends and family about? What do I already watch on YouTube or Netflix? What hobbies or interests do I have? Chances are one of those answers is gonna fall into this requirement, where it both has a solid CPM and that you're actually interested in. And as long as you stay away from stuff that definitely gets demonetized quickly, like stuff involving war, violence, drugs, hate, explicit sex, videos where you have to show real violent or graphic footage, and you also avoid niches that target kids or absolutely broke people, as long as you avoid those like really red flag niches, it's probably gonna have a decent CPM. There's gonna be a ton of different ways to make money from it aside from YouTube ads, like sponsors, digital products, physical products, recurring memberships, where not only will you be able to replace your full-time income, but you can even create generational wealth if that's your goal without you having to create a finance or crypto channel. Because once you get started, you'll realize that YouTube ads, this thing that we all obsess over as beginners, YouTube ads are only the icing on the cake. Because what I always say is that if you run your Faceless Channel business correctly, YouTube ads should only be the icing on the cake. That's how it is for me. We make way more money from our other income streams compared to YouTube ads. YouTube ads is one of the smaller income streams. Because as long as you have people watching and you're not in one of these red flag niches, you can make a lot of money. And I'm not just saying this based on my experience. I've had students create successful channels in niches that I would have never thought of. Stuff like comic book channels, self-help channels based on movie reviews, or even a channel that's in Arabic. And the only reason these counterintuitive channels succeeded, got views, and got subscribers is because they weren't in a red flag niche and the students that created them were genuinely interested in the topic. That's why my students' Arabic channel was able to get more than 164,000 views on its second ever upload. So before you just pick a profitable niche because it's profitable, before you force yourself to build a channel around something you actually don't care about, you gotta ask yourself, hey, am I just looking to make 1 or 2 quick videos chasing after the money? Or am I in this to create a channel that I'm proud of, where that passion, that drive, that genuine interest will make getting to a full-time income and building wealth feel a million times more effortless? Because here's the thing, if you do YouTube right, it should not feel like work. And the key to making it not feel like work is half of that you have to put into outsourcing correctly, like how I give all my students my system for outsourcing, and the other half is picking a winning channel idea where not only is there a huge gap in the market, so you can grow super fast just like my channels have, but you need a winning channel idea with a solid CPM that you're also genuinely interested in, because that genuine interest will effortlessly push you through while everyone else in your niche gives up. And if you would like my shortcut on how to find the right niche and the right channel idea in that niche, the same shortcut that I used to create the Tran channel, the Evil Food Supply channel that made me over $11,000 on the very first upload, and that I used to create How to Get Away With It that blew up right away so that you too can hop on this wave of online success and try out yourself, then I'd like to invite you to my 5-day Faceless Income Fast Start, where I'll show you how to duplicate my entire system that I've been using on all my YouTube channels step by step, where during these 5 days, I'll show you how to get your first Faceless channel up and running, how to automate the entire video creation process, and ultimately how to turn those videos that you didn't even have to touch into profits. And the good news is that now is the best time to start because YouTube is now promoting new channels more than ever before. As you've probably seen on the homepage, where YouTube now recommends you videos with barely any views all the time now. Now there's a link under this video, and if you click that link, it will take you to a page where I explain this entire 5-day fast start in detail. So click the link below right now, and hopefully I'll see you inside of the fast starts.